Any updates on your soldiers who aren't skating in Boro or Anderson?
Andy won't be a long-term thing, so it's going to be day-to-day. He won't be in tomorrow, so Kondo's going to be in, backed up by Dreger. Boro, I think there were some questions about Boro, because before he had an upper body problem, but right now that's not the issue. It's the lower body, and it's getting better, but it's not there yet. Stone, like we say, it's week to week, so we're not in the second week yet. So, and who else? That's about it.
Yeah. Did Anderson skate this morning prior to practice?
Yeah. So he was on, took some shots, and yeah. So like I say, it won't be a long-term thing, day to day. So, but it won't be tomorrow.
All right. I guess I don't know if it's any different for you, but what's it like to have a practice for the first time in 2 weeks on an off day?
Yeah, well, that's the NHL now. If you get practices, then you're too tired to play, and if you don't practice, you get away from your habits. So it's trying to find that medium between the two is it's more difficult than it was even 4 years ago when I was in Tampa. So it's a new reality, I think, this year. I don't know if it's because it's compressed for all the reasons we know about, but definitely it's you're walking on a tightrope. You got to watch out. This morning we practiced, but the intensity is just at the right level. If you go above it, then you get in trouble for the next day. So it's try to manage practicing a few specific things that we thought we weren't very good at yesterday. Some defensive details that got away from us.
So why didn't you have any sticks?
You got it. Last night I was thinking no pucks, but we had pucks and sticks, so there you go. Nah.
Did that surprise you? That maybe not the whole game, the third period. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I was surprised, but you know, you go to bed after a few hours. You know, we just got 13 points at our last possible 14. We've played top teams like Columbus and Boston. We played terrific, and we went out and won all 3 games on the road with clearly a short staff. And you know, we come back here. We knew it was going to be tough, and we're playing the team that's keeps on winning. With a lot of urgency. So, I mean, we knew it was going to be a tight game. It's just the third period really was what I didn't like. Like I said, I was expecting a slow first, which it usually is when you come back from a long road trip. And then our second was pretty good, actually. When we looked at it again, it was actually very good. And then that's what the disappointment was, one that it didn't carry on to the third period. And I think, looking at it, I think it was less about work ethic than it was about being impatient. The guys wanted the goal. They wanted to get that extra goal. So we wanted it too much. So we got 3-4 guys below the hash marks. We got caught and gave them the odd man rushes that we don't usually give. And Kondo had to stand on his head, which he did. So it's one of those days. But Kondo had to do more than usual. That's what I wasn't happy about. And probably if we played the right way, have a much better chance to get that extra goal, and certainly have less chances to give. But I mean, we got a point out of it, and I got to be fair with the players. You get 13 points out of your last 14 possible points. I have to also be realistic that at some point or another, things are not going to go our way perfectly.
They said they were actually happy to come to practice today. I guess you want to hear that?
Oh yeah, you know what, the guys, they care. They knew after the game yesterday that it wasn't good enough, and I'm not sure they knew why it wasn't good enough. I mean, it's that's my job and the rest of the staff to make sure we're specific and we're not mad and emotional about our loss. It's what went wrong and what we need to clean up for the next game. We had been perfect the previous game, and so it's not like it's been 6-7 games in a row where we don't like what we do. We've had some terrific moments, and we've been pretty consistent all year, and that's why we are where we are right now. But it's important that we're specific, and that's why we went on the ice and practiced some very specific things instead of just back skating the guys, and that would have given us no purpose.
When you were answering the questions last night, you were very short.
Yeah, very short, yeah.
Curt, or whatever you want to get. But is that what you're thinking, like, okay, the heat of the moment, you kind of got to step away from it a bit? You don't want to say something that you're going to regret because you're pissed, but... You
got it. That's, when you're younger, you either say too much or, you let the emotion take over. And I knew yesterday after the game I wasn't happy about that third period. But I also knew that if I gave myself an hour or two after that, watching some video and figuring out what's what, then you put things in perspective and they fall into place. And today it's important that the players know why we didn't play well and what we need to do for tomorrow.
So was it an hour or was it 2 that it took you to calm down? Is it an hour or 2?
How about an hour and a half? There you go.
Do you see any irony in the fact that Erik Karlsson is probably playing the best hockey of his career, better than he ever played when he won the Norris Trophy, and he might not win it this year?
Yeah, you know what, those individual trophies for me, I think they, especially for a guy who's won it before, his words this summer were, Coach, I want to win. I've been top scorer, defenseman. I don't care about that. I want to win. I want the team to win. I want to be a captain of a winning team. So every effort he's put in, his approach to the team, the season this year was all about leadership and winning and the collective. And it's easy to say, but he's done it. His everyday actions translate that, and that's why he's doing what he's doing right now. To me, it's unbelievable right now. It's the price of the ticket right there for sure. He's at his best. He's defending extremely well. He's attacking in the right times. He's great with the teammates. It's the way he's been leading defensively has been very inspiring for everybody. So he's become this complete package. That's what it is right now.
There was a time like Stan Mikito one year, he led the league in penalty minutes, and then the next year he won the Lady Big Trophy.
Last time I heard that was my dad. Told me that. Yeah. My dad passed away when I was 17. yeah. But he.
Getting back to but I just, that there is that transformation, and I'm wondering if, he's leading the league in blocked shots. You've come in and obviously had some impact on the way he's playing defensively. Have you noticed that he's taking more pride and really wanted to embrace that role of being a better defensive player?
No, for him, the big thing was it's a leadership year for him. I think that's where the organization is. That's where he is in his career, not just because of his age, but I think the circumstances of what he's lived before with the team and where the team is at right now, and who we've brought in also has helped him too. When you're a young guy being given the captain, it's tough to take all that on your shoulders. And I think the fact that Dion is there, Kelly, those guys have, and now with the new guys that we brought in, Burrows and all that, those guys have helped him relieve some of the heaviness of being a captain, a young captain, and that's anybody on every team. I remember Lecali telling me that it was tough for him to get it when he was young as a captain. It's those stars, we don't realize they're human beings. If you look at my kid now when he's 19, 20, 21, he's a puppy. You're so young that because you got the talent and the aura, you're supposed to know, but you don't. You're just learning as you go along. And I think Erik had seen enough years of the things he wanted to be, wanted to see, and I was hoping that this year was going to be a year that's been different for the team, and try to build something solid. And for me, it was all about building it around his strengths.
Do you think he should not only be in the Norris conversation, but the Hart conversation as well?
Oh my God, absolutely, 100%. I mean, with what he's done this year, the way he's done it, I think I can't imagine better. I just can't. It's right now. It's absolutely sublime. It really is in every aspect. Leadership, on ice, off ice. He's at the core of what we're trying to do, and it's him and the rest of the leaders that really inspired the group.